This is one of my favorite 007 licensed games of all time. Unlike the wildly popular GoldenEye, which redefined console shooters, Agent Underfire manages to be a respectable entry for its tongue-in-cheek gameplay and original storyline. As such, this game is a strong reminder that you don't need to tie in with a specific movie to create a brand new adventure. Since James Bond has always been characterized by fancy gadgets, beautiful women, and smooth wits, how well does this translate as an action-packed fun experience? The answer? Not bad. The campaign essentially boils down to Bond traversing to various locales by stopping the main villain from taking over the world. Basically, an evil organization known as Malprave Industries is conducting an experiment that involves creating clone replicants. Upon learning this information, Bond must pursue a vial case that contains blood samples of 8 world leaders, and thus, shut down all operations. In total, there are 12 missions, each broken into smaller sections of an otherwise short experience. Seriously, it took me roughly 3 hours to complete this entire game, minus some failed moments in between. You're practically mowing down enemies left to right, whether it be on foot, driving, or on rails. Like any secret agent, your goal is primarily focused to collect evidence of said task and then escape in a professional manner. The linear level design does occasionally offer freedom of choice on how to approach an objective. For instance, the first mission gives you 2 options upon entering this facility. Either use a hacking device to open its front door, or use a grappling hook on a nearby rooftop via early 2000s smartphone. Another example is in Mission 4, where A, you can avoid these laser grids, or B, open secret panels by using a special glasses and then disarm them using your own laser. I chose the latter because it's more thoughtful and the appropriate 007 jingle will play, encouraging tactical espionage among the player. While stealth is optional during quieter moments, other times, it's all-out guns blazing. The auto-aim is surprisingly magnetic, forcing a reticule on the nearby enemy, but replay it on the hardest difficulty and it's turned off completely. Since the driving sections add variety, the car combat is implemented so well that I wouldn't be surprised if this uses the Need for Speed engine because the mechanics does feel like an arcade racer. Fun and enjoyable. Sadly, there are only 2 missions, and they last at a minimal succession. Same goes for the on-rails, except they extend a bit longer than anticipated. Besides the tank section covering half of Mission 7, everything else remains the same. Lock and load. Once completed, you're rewarded with a high score based on your stats, such as time, damage taken, along with your usual accuracies. If you score enough points, you'll unlock a gold medal. Upon replaying the levels, these 007 icons can be collected as extra bonus points. Some are sparsely hidden, while others are sitting in plain sight. Combined with your strenuous efforts, you receive a platinum, which then unlocks more multiplayer content. Speaking of which, how is that multiplayer? Featuring various modes, matches can range from chaotic fun to normal 1v1, delivering some of the most robust customization options ever. I mean, you can moonjump sky high, swing your grappling hook like Spider-Man, or switch alternate firearms. There's just so much versatility within these battles that each round can feel like an adrenaline ride to play, especially for its time. Man, the memories can really exploit your nostalgia in ways that lends comfortability. If you really want to enjoy 007 Agent Underfire, definitely get the GameCube or Xbox port. Unfortunately, the PS2 version lacks the convenience of bots, since this was an early release compared to those that came a few months later. Unless you have friends or family members that are willing to join you, the multiplayer is completely unplayable. Probably the biggest nitpick that can bog down this whole experience are the controls. Sure, it's dated, but swapping between gadgets versus using them can be a bit cumbersome. For instance, when selected, pressing the trigger will switch out your gun rather than fire the gadget itself. Also, reloading a weapon is mapped to the same button as opening doorways. Quirks like these can provide such annoyance and might hinder the enjoyment to some. It is worth noting that you can change the controls by choosing Setup 2 for that familiar, modern playstyle. That being said, there's no way to assign these buttons to your particular liking, which is very disappointing. Lastly, while the story does feel like a James Bond film, the ending leaves a lot to be desired. Malprave's death is such an afterthought that you almost forget that she's the main antagonist. In fact, This guy Nigel might as well be, because you encounter him more times than her. Although she mostly works behind the scenes, there's no quick cutaway to show her last moment, and as a result, she runs off before the entire complex is destroyed. Too bad it goes unnoticed for first-timers. Other than that, 007 Agent Under Fire has all the bells and whistles for a decent Bond adventure, with a well-rounded campaign and multiplayer that bolsters enticing features. This game definitely defined my childhood, one that I could recommend it to anyone who hasn't given it a shot. While other shooters have improved the formula since then, this might come off as awkward for those who haven't played a first-person shooter from the late 90s and early 2000s. Still, that doesn't mean Agent Under Fire is a worthless game by any stretch. Try it once and check it out for yourself. Until then, thanks for watching.